Good morning or good evening, wherever you are. My name is Carol Del Propost, and I am with Baldwin Wallace University. My colleague here.
Hello, I'm another CD. I am Carlos Delgado. I am an Associate Director of Admission here at the university. I'd like to welcome everyone who is joining us from across the globe.
We're really glad that you've taken some time to share with us. We know that choosing a university can be a very complicated thing, and it can make people pretty anxious. So we're glad that you want to learn a little bit more about some of the schools in the U.S. Certainly, wanting to study in the U.S. is an important dimension of your selecting a college. Pardon me. And with over 4,000 universities in the U.S., the question becomes, how do you distinguish? How do you find the one that offers you what's important to you, the opportunities that are most important to you? So we'll tell you a little bit about Baldwin Wallace and its distinctions. We will then have an opportunity for you to ask us your questions. Tell us what you would like to know about. We also will have a couple of our current international students joining us in a short time, and you will have a chance to hear from them about their experiences at Baldwin Wallace. So what type of university are we? Baldwin Wallace is a university of the liberal arts and sciences. Thank you for switching the slide. University of the Liberal Arts and Sciences. It's a four-year institution that was begun in 1845. BW has a long tradition of opening its doors to all races, all creeds, all nationalities. And we value what all students bring and contribute to the university. So our commitment to diversity goes hand in hand with our commitment to prepare students for life after college or university. We use the term here rather interchangeably. We commit to helping you become a contributing citizen of a global world. So for that reason, we enhance your classroom learning with experiences outside the classroom, whether it's internships, research, study abroad, community service. And we can talk a little bit more about those as we move through. Value for the international student. There are many reasons to come to BW, and I think you will understand them after we give you some further information. I'd like to tell you where we're located. You need the next slide. Yeah, do you have a message? Continue. Okay. So if you take a look at the map of the United States, you can see that we are located in the eastern third of the United States, although we are often referred to as
I think we may be reconnected at this time. The beauty of technology is that we're able to go ahead and come into your homes as we speak, but sometimes technology is only as good as the hardware or the people that we have controlling. So unfortunately, you have me controlling some of the technology on our end, so I apologize. Believe you may not have seen anything for a little while, but hopefully we are reconnected to the webcam.
And I promise I did not touch a thing, so it's not my fault. We were talking about where Baldwin Wallace University is located, and you can see on the map the arrow points right to Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland is one of the 3 major cities in the state of Ohio, and we're very centrally located to many major cities in the U.S. I'm sure you've all heard of Chicago and New York and Washington, D.C. and Boston. And the beauty of being in our location is that we can go in any direction and be at one of those major cities within 1 to 2 hours by plane. Of course, if you go north, you will be either in Lake Erie or in Canada. Both of them are fun places. Our international students fly into the Cleveland International Airport, which is just about 5 minutes from our campus. Our campus is in a suburban area called Berea, and we'll talk about Berea in a few minutes, but the Cleveland has so many benefits to all of our students, but in particular the convenience of the airport for the international students is one of them. Cleveland as a city offers so much. It is the Playhouse Square, the theater opportunities in Cleveland rival those only of New York. We are the 2nd highest in theater quality and presentations next to Broadway, even outside of Chicago. We have Fortune 500 companies. I think, I don't know how many, 12?
12 to 15 Fortune 500 companies are headquartered in the Cleveland area, not to mention others have branches in the area as well.
Right. And that provides lots of opportunities for our students for internships and internships with businesses and organizations. Additionally, Cleveland is like the healthcare capital with university hospitals associated with Case Western Reserve University and also the world-renowned Cleveland Clinic. Those 2 and other medical facilities provide opportunities for our students, especially in the sciences, to do research. One of our current seniors, Ben Brown, worked with physicians and researchers at Case Western Reserve, and together with the professionals, he was published in an international journal called Nature, research in the field of neuroscience. So Ben is an example of what Baldwin Wallace University students can do and do so professionally that they are recognized internationally. Cleveland also has major sports. The National Football League has the Cleveland Browns. The baseball is the Cleveland Indians. And then we have the NBA team, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Many of you know that LeBron James is a top basketball player. He is located here with our Cleveland Browns. Carlos, other things about Kaz, the cat. He plays basketball, not football.
He's so good, he'd probably do very well on the Cleveland Browns as well. But yes, I always stress to students the importance of Baldwin Wallace University being close to Cleveland, as you have the opportunity. Carol, I think one of our students might be here. Carol is going to get a couple of our students as we speak. It's, I don't know if we mentioned earlier, it's 9 a.m. Here in Berea, so we really appreciate our current students making time to come down. But as I was mentioning, the proximity to Cleveland, being 15 minutes drive time away from the university, the beauty of that is that students have the opportunity to gain an internship or work experience when you're on your student visa. The terms that are used are OPT and CPT. You could do those throughout the entire year. If you are choosing, or if you are looking into universities that are further away from a major metropolitan area, many students are restricted to doing those work internships only in the summertime, when the major semesters are not going on. Our students here at the university have no limit as far as when they could go ahead and do internships. They could do those as early as August, in January, or in the summertime as well. So we use Cleveland for many, many things. We're focusing definitely on what's going to add to your education, but it's also a great background not only for plays. Cleveland's also close to Cedar Point, so for any amusement park enthusiasts who may be joining us, that's just a 45-minute drive, and is a must-see for any student who's coming into the area. Don't worry, we provide all kinds of transportation to some of those things. So that's just a little bit more about Cleveland, as well as you may have heard of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, also calls Cleveland home as well. So yes, quite a few things to do here in Cleveland.
There are also some neighborhoods that are very interesting within the city of Cleveland. Ethnic groups, different ethnic groups have little communities, and those are full of interesting things to see, and of course, good food. There's so much we can tell you about Baldwin Wallace. And that's from us, our students. Jade is here, she'll be talking in a minute. Often are our best communicators about what BW is like, what it's all about. But we always appreciate third-party recognitions that underscore things about Baldwin Wallace that make us outstanding. The U.S. News and World Report, for instance, ranks us among the top 15 universities in the Midwest, and they also rank us as a best value. And what that means is you get a top-notch, first-rate quality education at a very reasonable cost. Also, the Princeton Review notices us as a best Midwestern college. Kiplinger's underscores the value, and Forbes magazine also has rated us a top college. In a recent poll, Baldwin Wallace was ranked among the top 5% of over 1,200 universities in terms of alumni satisfaction, alumni career satisfaction, and earnings potential. So being in the top 5%, I think underscores what Baldwin Wallace, how Baldwin Wallace helps prepare you for your career and your potential in the work world. There are lots of other accolades. You can go to our website and find many more.
Wanted to focus a little bit of time on the actual majors or major courses of study that are offered at the university. There are over 60, and we are always adding new additional majors that are in demand and really that our students are asking us to go ahead and add. We offer a full array of business majors, so anything from a general business degree to innovation and entrepreneurship, which is, if there's any students out there that are interested in owning and operating their own business, if you're looking to take over for a family business, this is a wonderful major to go ahead and pursue. We offer a wide variety of computer science majors. Cleveland, we highlighted some of the benefits to Cleveland. Another thing that is really happening over the last 5 to 10 years, a lot of small technology firms are calling Cleveland home as well. So there's a large amount of small tech firms that can't wait to get a hold of our computer science graduates, to the point that there's a lot of internship opportunities available. Not only are there internship opportunities, but they're also paid. I can't necessarily say that all of your internship opportunities will be paid, but if you're a computer science student, it's a guarantee that that's going to go ahead and happen.
And in our computer science department, we also have network security analysis. That's something that, of course, is very important today. So we have one of the exceptional programs in the United States.
We have a full array of the social sciences, including psychology, sociology, political science, very rooted in research. So those programs actually have a research component built in, which means you are going to do your own research alongside of a faculty member while you are here. So you'll at least have one opportunity. Many opportunities exist for that to continue. We have a world-class conservatory of music. So from anybody interested in vocal performance to instrument to music therapy, music education, I think fortunately we'll have a student that will be able to go ahead and speak a little bit more on the conservatories. I can't do the conservatory music justice. And just to highlight these, of the 60, there's a couple programs of distinction that I wanted to go ahead and take a few minutes to go ahead and highlight. We mentioned business. Business does very well here at BW because of who we're able to go ahead and hire as faculty. We have an emphasis on bringing on faculty who not only have high-level degrees in their field or PhDs, but also real-world experience. So you're not in a finance course hearing from a professor that's never been in the finance department of a major corporation. I am currently an MBA student, and I know for a fact that our faculty bring that experience into the classroom and really adds to what we're learning about. If you give BW 5 years of your time instead of 4 for any accountants out there, we have a wonderful, what we call a 3-2 program, where you will complete your bachelor's degree and your master's degree in accounting here on campus. That'll save you a year's time. Ernst & Young is one of the Fortune 500 companies here in BW. Many of our accounting students end up working with Ernst & Young, and Ernst & Young is a global company. So this is an opportunity to get real-world experience and possibly latch on to an organization that's all over the globe. We heard a little bit about one of our current students with the accolades in neuroscience. Neuroscience, maybe 2 or 3 years back, was rated the #1 neuroscience undergraduate program in the country. Tons of undergraduate research, completely student-driven. Students are always working with faculty and presenting at national conferences. Software engineering is, we offer one of the only software engineering programs in the state. It's a brand new major, only 2 or 3 years old. So you're going to get a lot of experience with the faculty member, a lot of one-on-one attention, and has worked out very, very well for students who are looking at software engineering. For those who are looking to be engineers, what we offer is something known as a pre-engineering program. What you end up doing at BW is you work on your foundation courses. These are the courses that you will have to take at whatever university you're looking into to get in engineering. So you're working on your chemistry, your physics, your calculus, your differential equations. You're doing those courses here at the university. During your third year, you then work with faculty and have the opportunity to go ahead and apply to Columbia University to continue on your engineering degree, so the Ivy League school in New York, or Case Western Reserve University, which is the research-based institution that is located in downtown Cleveland. So if you're looking at engineering, do not forget about what BW has to offer. You could still work in a smaller environment and still be able to attain your engineering goals. Some of the others, as far as computer science, psychology, and music, I have already mentioned. I'd like to thank our current students for coming and waking up early, and like to go ahead and bring a couple of them to the screen so they could go ahead and say hello, introduce themselves, talk a little bit about their major if they have a major at this moment, and really give, if they could provide a background as far as how did they make their choice and how did they end up here at Baldwin Wallace University. So as a gentleman, I would say ladies first. And
You could both sit up here.
yeah, go ahead. You guys take over our seats.
First we have Jay.
Yes, my name is Jake Zhao. I'm an international student from China and major in music therapy. Which means I spend most of my time in the conservatory. My primary instrument is flute.
And we're also joined by...
I'm Manolo Sandoval. I'm an international student from Guatemala. I'm a double major in business administration and innovation and entrepreneurship. And I declared my minor yesterday as psychology.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm also part of the racquetball team here at Baldwin Wallace University, and I'm a sophomore.
Jay, if you don't mind, music therapy, what does a degree in music therapy mean? What are you pursuing as far as your career choice?
Okay, I'm only a freshman for this major, but I already kind of have a general idea when I was still in China, and that's part of the reason why I decided to study abroad. That I want to learn music therapy, and music therapy actually began in the United States. And the reason I chose Baldwin Wallace is because it really has a great program about music therapy. Not only those professors willing to help, but it also has a organization with relationship with Cleveland State University and Worcester, which is south of Baldwin Wallace. And each Saturday, students from those three schools will have class together here in Baldwin Wallace University. And it's really hard to define, to say exactly what's music therapy. That's really is a choice for music students that want to extend their working opportunities, not only as a performer, but also maybe in work in hospital or clinic and help others. For me, it's a little different because I was not a typical music student when I was in high school. Actually, I chose music therapy major just because I love the music and I would like to know how it works and how it can change others. And according to my experience here in Baldwin Wallace, I have to say the resource here offers me, it's really amazing, and the music theory faculty is really helpful, which now I can feel well embraced that the new culture here, and they are all willing to know myself and my background, and I can say I enjoy a lot the life living here.
Great, thank you.
And then Manolo, you mentioned, amongst others, innovation and entrepreneurship as one of your majors. How did you come about choosing innovation and entrepreneurship?
Well, actually, I have known, like, I took this just exam that people take when they're in high school as a freshman, and they asked us what we wanted to be. And when I was a freshman in high school, I wrote down that I wanted to go to the United States to study abroad, to get a degree in innovation and entrepreneurship. I've always dreamed about having my own business. I know that I'll go big one day. I really want to. And it's not for the fact of like being my own boss, but I really like the fact of like managing different areas of the business. Like I can't sit down and just like be an accountant all day or just like work with books or something like that. Like I really like the idea of working with everyone at the same time. And I really like the challenge too, because a lot of people think that it's easy just because like you don't have the regular schedule, or that you can just take as much of the money that your business earns like away from it. But really, you need to be really disciplined, because usually entrepreneurs, when they start up a business, you have to be there all day, every day, from before they open until like hours after they close, making sure that everything is set in place for the business. So, and I mean, like, I've taken a couple courses already for my major, for both my majors here, and I can really say, like, I was really impressed with how like the way you mentioned that faculty here, they have had experience with their field. A couple of my teachers have really impressed me with their like resumes and like what they have done before becoming teachers. Like I was really shocked to meet a lot of the faculty here. Like I was amazed to see how they really just involve like their knowledge in the class. Go ahead.
I want to add something about a conservatory, because I can have from a personal perspective about my life in a conservatory, and I think what I think about it. And I think the conservatory, firstly, it has really incredible, amazing faculty. So many professors have a deep relationship with some important people in their own field, and as pioneers like that. And sometimes they can give really useful resources. They can help us a lot in our learning. And the other thing about the conservatory is, I think, considering the number of students of Baldwin Wallace is a relatively large organization in this college, which have like assigned like 300 students overall, and most of them are this local primary, because Baldwin Wallace Conservatory has a really famous music theater major, and it's a really high level, high quality. That's what I know, but I'm not a music theater student. That's most conservatory students consider it as a really great program. And there are many concerts held in the conservatory. Yearly there will be several of them each week, and it can be a good opportunity to observe other musicians playing there. And also, the conservatory will give us many other opportunities to really join the concerts ourselves. Like for me, I'm in the symphonic band, and we will have rehearsal twice a week, and we'll we have concerts each month, and as I said before, I was not a music student when I was high school, and my experience here in the conservatory helped me a lot. That's my major in music.
It sounds like both of you are really, really very busy with your academic work. Could you talk a little bit about maybe some activities you've been involved with, opportunities outside the classroom, outside the academics?
Yes. Actually, as a fun fact, I have an internship. I've been an intern since last October at a company like close to campus, and I got this internship through the Career Services Department here at Baldwin Wallace University. It is a paid internship, so it is great for a college student.
Nice.
And in addition to that, like I'm also a part of the racquetball team, and I do belong to a Greek life organization. So my schedule is not just like all about classes and like studying and that. Like I'm really busy outside of class too, which I believe is like a big part of college experience, like not just sitting down in a classroom and like reading out of the textbook all day, but also getting to know the people and getting to meet all these great people that are ready to meet you too.
For me, I mainly focus on my interest in music therapy. So I'm in the Cleveland Student Music Therapy Club, helped by the students, and we'll meet once a week to discuss about some really interesting activities. And just like right now, we're doing a balancing style for that we can offer some special music playing for those people who can skips on Valentine's Day, which is really interesting.
Oh,
Valentine's Day, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
okay.
you completely got it.
Yeah.
I have to remember Valentine's Day for my wife, so thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a really, I will say more about this. It's the Valentine's Day sale. It's we usually have two this kind of sales. Not two, but it's a kind of a program run by the Student Music Therapists organization, and we'll offer music to people who are interested to give it as a gift to others. We not only have the special festival ones, and sometimes before the final exams, we can offer some really encouraging music to students that need this kind of help.
Excellent.
That's
Excellent.
great.
What? I think there were some actual questions.
Okay. Oh, good.
Coming up.
Questions.
I wanted to go ahead and our students have really taken over, which is awesome because they're the ones that are living. They're taking classes here, so I'm so glad they've been able to add us. I do see that there are some questions that are available, and I'll see if I can get to. The first question has to do with scholarships that are available for international students. And Aliza, this, if you hang on, we are definitely going to discuss opportunities for scholarship that are available to all of our international students. So yes, there are scholarships is the short answer, and we'll explain a little bit more as far as the process for obtaining and utilizing some of those scholarships. Carol, you're going to ask? I think
becoming acclimated to the culture in the United States and in particular to this area, what did you experience and what might you want to share with other international students who are considering coming this way?
Well, I think the Great Cleveland area is a really great place. it's really good place for international students. I went to volunteering in international festival last semester, and there's a really incredible program in the Great Cleveland area that's involved the most like immigrants or international students in it, and they're trying to build deep relationship between those people and trying to do some really cool cross-cultural stuff. And last semester it's the first festival, and they promised there will be a bigger one this year, and I'm really looking forward to it. I will be there for sure. And also, according to my personal experience here in Baldwin Wallace University, I feel comfortable here. There's the other students are willing to get to know my culture, and they're really interested in it and respectful to cultural differences. And I live a happy life here, and I feel I'm at home just like that. Yes.
And for me, like coming from a country that has never had snow, it was quite a change.
Not that we had snow now.
But I mean, it's really amazing how like easily it is to adapt here. Like there's a lot of great people here, and the staff and a lot of like the organizations are just very willing to like help you out, like you become a part of them, so you can feel more comfortable like with your surroundings and stuff. And Cleveland is a really nice area to be at. Like business-wise, it's just a place that's evolving really quickly. Like it's growing incredibly fast, and there's just a lot of like Fortune 500 companies whose headquarters are located here. And like in addition to that, there's also a lot of places to go for entertainment, and like overall, like here, like in the university at Baldwin Wallace University, like there's a lot of people that are just really like willing to help you out. Like it's not one of those places where you will go and you'll feel like you're going to be rejected everywhere. Like if things can't be done the way you want them to be, they will find a way to do it, like just to work around it a little bit. So I really feel like I've made a good choice by like coming here, because I never felt like I was ever left out or like by myself, or just like thrown into the blue.
Some people say they're like a family.
Yeah.
For
Basically.
international student service.
Yes, international student service is really good. It's been really helpful, and they're always there to like help out with any sort of problems you have. So like, let's say for my internship, I had to fill out a lot of paperwork, and I was never by myself throughout like the entire process, which was long and kind of tedious to do. But I mean, they were always there to help me, and they helped me out, make sure that everything was in place before I started my internship.
And they also offer some convenient help, like the shuttle.
Shuttle services?
Yeah, shuttle services, which is really helpful for international students. Mm-hmm. And also, I had some issues I'm not familiar with last semester, and just about the dorm like that. And they helped me a lot during that process, and helped me to fill those forms and to discuss with those people responsible for that, and that's really helpful.
The shuttle services that you both discussed, where does the shuttle take you?
Just here outside Welcome Center. And I think that for the semester is three times a week. I can remember exactly that you can fill a form and apply for a shuttle, or you can just be during the shuttle service hours if they're available, and they can drive you to somewhere you want to go, like Walmart or shopping.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty convenient, pretty useful. They do offer it 3 times a week. They have hours for it, and they take you anywhere that's considerably close. Like if you ever need to go to Walmart, like to the mall, just to go shopping, like the fun thing about it is that it usually is a friend of yours that's driving, because it's one of the international students, or not the students, but the ambassadors, yes, that's driving the van, and you get to meet them the day you come here and everything. So like they will be your friends by the time like you start school, and it's one of them driving you. So really, if you want to go shopping, you can just go with the van, and they'll take you in the VW van to go shopping with a friend, basically. So it's a fun experience.
Yeah, that's the reason why I said the student here is really willing to know the other cultures. I met a girl in the conservatory, and she is planning to apply to being an international ambassador next semester, and she's so excited about it. She's so willing to know, and she asks me a lot of questions about Chinese culture, and which makes me feel like really happy, because it's a great experience to introduce my own culture to other students.
So, go ahead and we're going to let Carlos talk about scholarship opportunities. I want to thank both of you very, very much. If we get some other questions, we'll direct them to you.
Yeah, you guys can hang out a little bit. Yeah. Wonderful. Hearing from our students, to me, is paramount. When I am traveling abroad, I've traveled to India in the past to recruit students. It's difficult for me to go ahead and really talk about student life, talk about residence life, the opportunities, because I'm not a current student. So hearing that from Manolo and both Jade was excellent, and I hope everyone has really gained a good insight as far as what BW has to offer. I see there's another question as well. And the two questions that I've received thus far are concerning scholarships and the requirements, which I could not ask for better questions, because that's exactly what we're going to discuss next. So you've heard about the university, what we have to offer from a couple of our current students, how you could go ahead and embark upon this process, applying to the university, and possibly being the next students who are here in front of you talking to other students across the globe are as follows. One of the questions we always ask for is, what are we looking for? Keep in mind, we are a university of 4,000 students. We do that purposely. So we are looking for an incoming class of 725 students. So we are a selective institution. We receive close to 4,000 applications every year. I do not want to scare anybody away, but I just want to go ahead and reiterate that we are a private selective institution, and we are purposely looking for a small group of students to go ahead, a smaller group of students to go ahead and join us. We are always looking for a diverse population, both in geography, background, culture, and religious experience. We are very inclusive and look for everyone to go ahead and apply. There are no, we're not going to turn anyone away based on some of their diverse backgrounds. We are looking for academic talent. We are an institution that expects a lot out of our students, meaning having a strong foundation in order to go ahead and receive some of the excellent instruction that we heard of earlier. So we are looking for academic talent. That's why we are looking at your transcripts to see how far you've gone in math, what grade you've received in math, what type of sciences have you taken, what type of English and social science courses, so on and so forth. Other talents that we're looking for, as we mentioned earlier, we do have the music school. Manolo's a member of one of our athletic groups as far as racquetball is concerned. So if there's students with interests in soccer, basketball, baseball, swimming, diving, there's a number of different athletics that you could play for the school or play with your friends. We are also an institution that has a growing, a large community service component. So if any of your schools require it or you enjoy working with others in your area, giving back to the community, working with smaller children, working with elderly populations, so on and so forth, there's a whole office dedicated to bringing those opportunities forward. And you can see some of the others as well. What we consider and what we're looking for, we are looking for your academic program, specifically what courses have you taken. Not to say that the only thing we're looking for is grades, but grades are important, so how you've done in those courses are important. Those who are taking an IB curriculum, a more difficult Cambridge curriculum, are always strongly considered. The more difficult your high school courses are, the better you're going to do while you're here. So we're fully aware if you're taking a very difficult curriculum, your grades may not be as strong as they would be if you were taking a lesser curriculum. So a strong curriculum is always important. We do ask for some type of standardized test score. If you feel very comfortable with the English language, if you've been receiving English instruction your entire career, if you speak English in the household and feel comfortable doing so, we actually prefer the SAT examination. The SAT would actually tell us where you are at in critical reading and mathematics as compared to all students, as opposed to a TOEFL exam or the internet-based TOEFL or the IELTS. The only thing those two tests are going to do is show us your English aptitude. So if you feel very comfortable with the English language, my strong recommendation is the SAT. If you are working on your English, maybe the SAT is not available, maybe part of your curriculum is in English, but you're still working on it, then we can use the TOEFL or the IELTS examination. The other activities, activities and experiences, we look for this during the application process. As we discussed, we're a lot more than just an academic institution. Your number one job, as I like to tell parents, is to be a student at the university. However, if you're not involved in getting to know your current students, getting to know instructors outside of the classroom, you're not going to get everything that BW has to offer. So for students who are active in their secondary schools, who have community service experience, who are involved in clubs, who are possibly working, all of those attributes are positive indicators of success, and that's what we want ultimately for all students that come to BW are to be successful. And we are looking for a couple of letters of recommendation. One from a professor of your choosing, the other if your school operates with a guidance counselor or someone who is helping you with the process, that would be helpful as well. This particular slide goes over the actual documents that we're looking for. So we are looking that you actually apply either through the Common Application or directly through the application that we as a university provide, both of which are completely free to go ahead and do. So there's no cost involved in actually putting your information forward. We are looking for your transcripts. Please submit those. If they're already available in English, wonderful, but if they are not, we are going to need English transcripts for us to review. There's a couple of us here that are able to read in different languages, but having that English transcription is a must. The standardized test score I spent some time on already. You will need one of the exams, either an SAT, TOEFL, or IELTS examination. We ask for a personal essay. Do not lose sleep over the essay. More students, the area of the application that I feel gives students the most stress is the essay. It should be the part that you look forward to. Prior to the actual essay, we see your transcripts, We see your test scores. We don't really get to hear you as an individual. The essay is the opportunity for students to go ahead and let us as reviewers of applications know who they are outside of the transcripts, outside of what happened during your standardized tests. So letting us know a little bit more about you is very, very helpful. The recommendations are listed below as far as counselor and teacher, and we are also looking for a financial statement at the time of admission as well. This is where not only the finances in the household, how much is able to go ahead and be provided. That information is helpful when it comes to us not only giving academic scholarships, but also need assistance as well. This is a timeline that we have provided for seniors who are applying. Even though your final year in high school may not be complete, right about now is the perfect time to start the application process. You do not have to complete secondary school at this particular time in order to apply. Just keep us at an option open. If you apply now through March, the timeline is going to go a lot more smoothly to go ahead and be accepted. Let us know, yes, you're coming. We could then process the I-20. You would then have enough time to set up a meeting at the U.S. Consulate office with your I-20. So applying in March is important. We would like for you to make a decision by May 1st. Once the decision is made in May, if you accept it, we are looking for a $200 deposit. That is when we process the I-20 and send that to you. The I-20 is a document needed to obtain the visa from the U.S. Consulate. In June and July, you're making plans to actually set up the visa date. In August, the beginning of August, you're arriving at the university. And at the end of August is when classes actually begin. Cost of the institution for tuition, and what we mean by tuition, that's your class expenditures for the academic year, which begins in August and then ends in the beginning of May. Those costs are $28,814. The next list is rooms, meals, and books. That includes a living space on campus. So for those used to a hostel, this would be we call them residence halls, you may call them hostels. Meals are included in the cost for residential students. And the books that you will be using are also included in the cost. That would bring our grand total to $38,318 for tuition, room, and board. Scholarships. I know we had a scholarship question earlier. We offer scholarships essentially up to $15,000 US for well-qualified students. What we mean by qualified academically, very well-qualified students. That's a combination of both academic and need-based aid as well. So for those who have some funds that are able to go ahead and pay for some of your funding, wonderful. We are in a position as far as an institution, if you do not have the entire $38,318 to on top of a merit or a scholarship also give you some assistance in paying for the university as well. The award is based on achievement and financial circumstances. There's another question here. There's two questions actually. We went through the requirements. I had highlighted those. Keep in mind, all of the information that we are discussing is available online to all students. So you could go ahead and go to bw.edu. We will also be sending that information directly to all students who are online now, as far as how to gain the actual information that I discussed. So those would be the requirements. And the other question, how do I apply? Wonderful. The common application is one of the opportunities. The website is common, which is COMMONAPP.org. That is one way to apply. The other is to go onto our website, which is bw.edu. There's an apply icon on the bottom left of the site. You could go ahead and follow those prompts as far as how to go ahead and apply. Completely free. If you're experiencing issues technology-wise, as we did earlier in this podcast, please go ahead and contact us. We will then be able to send you a paper copy of the information. The financial statement or financial documents. We actually have a financial document online that you're able to go ahead and provide. Thank you, Manolo. So you could find that document under the admission criteria or the admission documents that you need to go ahead and submit. So there's a free one available on our sites. Some schools ask for a CSS profile. We can accept the CSS profile that you have already completed. The last thing that I want is for you to go ahead and complete additional, do additional documents or complete additional documents when you've already done something. So we are very flexible when it comes to ability to go ahead and provide financial documents. There was one other question concerning ability for a full financial or a full scholarship at the university. What I would say for that, the university does not provide a full scholarship for any student that attends BW. Not an international student, not a domestic. We feel that it is a partnership. Our scholarships are rather generous. The highest scholarship that we offer is half off of tuition, but we understand that sometimes this amount of help may not be enough in order for students to go ahead and get here. So what we suggest is really talking with your family as far as the opportunities that they have to assist you in your educational attainment, to look at some potential loan options that may be available in your home countries. Partner with Education USA. Education USA is a wonderful tool that international students could go ahead and use. I was on their website not too long ago, and there was they have a specific web link available for students who have questions as far as how do I gain assistance in financing higher education. So these would be a few. But yes, the highest scholarship that we have available are those that are currently being displayed right now. We as an institution do not provide full financial scholarships to any of our students. I've realized, and if go ahead and get Carol on here, we are nearing the end of our podcast. What I realized shortly, I should have ended with a slide with our contact information, which I completely apologize. But we will go ahead and work to go ahead and get all students the information on how to go ahead and contact Baldwin Wallace University. We'll send you a direct email with that information. I think this went well. I hope students were able to go ahead and learn more about the university here directly from a couple of our current students. I'd love for them to jump on, but they had to go ahead and go to class.
We really want to thank you for taking your time to join us for this discussion. We appreciate your questions, and of course would like to answer further. We will send you that email. Email us back.
Thank you.
Thank you. 4, 3, 2, 1.